Yeah, but of course I agree that men, they are definitely more logical. That's why when the wife want to start a business, man will start asking for business plan, right? The proposal and everything.
Entrepreneurship is a mentality. Just starting a business doesn't make you an entrepreneur.
Being number one is very tough because you know what needs to be done, but disruption cannot come from the inside.
I have a lot to say about this. I would say it's easier for men to be successful. Imagine that the man tell the wife that, hey dear, I have a business idea. I'm going to start the business and I'm going to be so busy, I will leave it to you to take care of the household. Most of the time, the wife will say, yes, I will support what you are doing, dear. But imagine the wife go and tell the husband, I got a business idea. Can you help me to look after the kids? What will be your response? You will start to drill her on, okay, what's your business idea? Show me your business plan, right? Do you think the wife asked the man that? So I think I've answered the question. And you know, we women, we wear multiple hats. After running the business, we have to go back home, look after the household. Sometimes on the way, I have to go to the supermarket to pick up groceries. I have to think of the dinner. I have to think of the reunion dinner that's going to happen in a few weeks' time. Do you have to worry about reunion dinner, Norman?
Yes.
Really? Okay, do you have to worry? Okay, yeah. Okay, yes, over to you.
So I think for easier to succeed as entrepreneur, so I think first and foremost, the trade or industry matters. I mean, some trade or some industries are more suited for men or for male, some others for female. But if, let's say we put everything, ceteris paribus, everything equal and stuff like that, yes, I think of course, there is the stigma that, men are more logical, female are maybe more emotional. Also the stigma whereby, the male or the man go out and earn the bread or put the bread and bacon on the table, the wife take care of the home. But I think this stigma have changed. There are also ladies that are very logical. There are also men that are very emotional. Rather than it being a gender stigma, I think it is trait or character kind of centric of a thing. And I think all three of us agree that certain traits, certain characteristics, values, ethics are more prevalent or more suitable to become entrepreneurs. What do you think, Ronald?
I agree, but I think that goes a bit beyond just trade because sometimes it also matters whether you have children or not. Because when you have children, then that part of it becomes a bit more complicated. And whether you have parents that you need your time to live, your caregiver portion of it. So a lot of things not just simple like this. But I really admire women that step up to be entrepreneurs because it's not an easy task. It's paid, but usually when I met women entrepreneur that doing that, because it's natural gift, I think God gave them something they can multitask. For men, we are horrible with multitasking. We only can do one thing. If we are doing something, you tell us to do something else, we totally cannot do it. No way. I've seen women can pick up the phone, take care of the kids on a phone call and actually doing something else. Fantastic. I really cannot imagine myself doing that. Yeah, I will just die. So I think certain job whereby it needs this kind of skill set, right? Women are fantastic at that. Yeah, especially when operation is concerned. I think they are wonderful with that. When men do operation, because again, we really have to see a difference. Men sometimes are not meticulous enough because we see big picture too much until we always think too big. And all these small thing matters. So really sometimes even my wife ground me down because sometimes when I think too big, it's almost too big already. Yeah, but in business we always train to always think big. We don't think small. So that's why we need. I think in every business it's good to have a mix of women and men in the same business. Like what we have here, I think it's fantastic because we have a good synergy of male and female. I think that's when we form a very good team. What do you think?
So earlier on when I said men natural can excel or thrive in the businesses, right, I wasn't thinking about what traits they have, the instinct that they have. For example, men are more logical, women tend to be more emotional or overthink. I'm coming from the angle that men can have more time on hand. So when you have more time, you can achieve a lot more things. So women tend to sacrifice, for example, our sleep or sometimes our self-care routine. Just for example, yesterday I have to spend 2 hours on the road just to pick up my child, and there was a huge jam and I was stuck. So basically 2 hours gone from my schedule. I have to make it up by having a later bedtime. So yeah, but of course I agree that men, they are definitely more logical. That's why when the wife wants to start a business, men will start asking for business plan, right, the proposal and everything. Yes. But thank you for affirming our multitasking abilities.
But
You guys
be
will think
it male or female, I think one very important thing is that I believe behind every successful entrepreneur, the spousal support is very crucial, or the family support is very crucial.
Yes, very, very.
Yeah. So I think one thing that Ronald brought up also, the phase of life you are in, whether you have kids or not, the kind of, I think, time that you have on hand and stuff like that, energy you have on hand. I think all of these plays a part.
So it all depends with that person physical health as well, because sometimes when I've seen some 40 years old person actually thinks and behave and work like a 60-year-old person. I have also seen a person 60 years old who thinks like a 40, 30 years old and work and really got so much energy to really do a lot of things. Yeah. So that physical age is not concerned, but really his ability to perform things and also at which phase of life he is at. Because the things like this, a person at 40, maybe he has a lot of burden, he have kids to worry about, he got parents to think about. But when you are 60, right, your kids may be too busy with their life and you don't have burden so much anymore. So that stage, you see things a bit different. Yeah, so maybe you have more time at hand, you got more time and freedom, you can really do more things. However, but you may have less energy. So likewise for a young kid as well. He has a lot of energy, but he has no money, he doesn't have the network, he has nothing. So we really need to look at what we have at our different phase of life to really bang very hard on that. Like when you're older, you have a lot of wisdom. So how do you monetize that? How do I make money from that? Knowing the fact I have learned so much over the 20, 60 years. Really, you really need to monetize that. Think deeper inside, share and talk to people, talk to your network, talk to your community of people. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely not contingent to the age. I started business quite late also, and I would say like what Ronald shared, right now I have the time on hand, the family don't really need me so much, so I can devote my focus, my energy, my time to doing what I always want to do. So I really enjoy that. And I remember meeting this young man. He's only 21 years old, but he really has an old soul. He knows what he has to do in order to make his business successful. He went out to meet people. I was in awe with all his plans and what he wants to do. So yeah, I think it has nothing to do with the age, but more of your readiness, the clarity. I think those are more important than your physical age.
I think it's a good blend of mental maturity as well as experience. Of course, then whether you come from a home of entrepreneurs, businessmen, opportunities presented to you. We all have tasted or at least heard of fried chicken that the founder started out very late. And we also have friends around us that maybe in school selling you erasers, trading erasers of different country flags, or making and selling handicraft. Even in school, that is entrepreneurship itself. Yeah. So entrepreneurship can start as early as in your school, preschool, and all the way up to your 70s, 80s. It's never too early, it's never too late per se. I think the other thing is it one-time success or one-time entrepreneurship journey, or it takes multiple times to succeed at that?
Better in the sense maybe of the way they think, because when entrepreneur is concerned, it's a real mindset. Yeah, it's the way how they behave, the way they talk, the way they do things are a bit unorthodox sometimes. Yeah, it's not the kind of standard way how they do or the way they dress. Yeah, so sometimes it's that things that you can look out for, that you can see and observe. Yeah, sometimes the way, because they are a group of people whereby they don't conform to norms. They get very upset when they feel so restricted. Yeah, they don't like being controlled. They don't like to really have a lot of rules enforced onto them.
For me, I believe there's always something to learn from everybody, whether it's good or bad, because I wouldn't know what I don't know, and I have to interact with them, draw it out from them, and then eventually I have to decide for myself whether it works for me or not. And also interesting for me to understand why they are the minority or they have a certain mindset. Then at the end of the day, I have to ask myself whether it works for me and my businesses or not. Then I will adapt. Yeah.
Okay.
first there must be a seat for me, right? Then I will have to blend in myself, plumb myself in. If I find that this group energy is out of sync with me, then I will move on to another group.
I think there are a few things or few purpose why people go to networking. So if it's for business purposes, looking for sales and stuff like that, then I think it's very natural. I think we don't have to teach people who to look for and stuff like that, you know. It's immediately who you can do business with or who can give you sales. But then it's again who has higher energy, who vibes, who is more charismatic, who has the charisma to attract you, that you want to speak to them. Why did they attract you? What powers do they have to attract others? How do they suck in others or how do they suck in you? They have better energy, you know, they can put forth concepts, ideas in a different way or they think different way. But I think it's also how owners or entrepreneurs present themselves, and I think right now, you know, even us, you know, being in front of cameras and stuff like that, we are putting ourselves out there, letting the audiences decide whether who do they resonate with better. That's why I also share that reaching out to different people, the different gender, representing different groups, different trade, etc. So I think it will all reach out differently and different people will have different opinions, I think, about us as well. So I think different people may see things differently, but to me, what would attract is how that entrepreneur presents himself, herself, and the kind of energy that they exude. Are they, while we want to connect, are they at the correct frequency, same frequency? Are they welcoming? Are they also portraying high level of energy that, you know, they are ready to mingle, they are ready to interact? Yeah, I think that
So it's more like observing the body language.
correct.
Looking at the way how they stand, the way their posture,
Their
the way they
presence.
talk, their presence, even how they present themselves in the networking setting.
Then Adeline is the expert.
Yeah, expert, right? Yeah. Maybe you'd like to share more.
No, I think Liang also mentioned something interesting, that our energy. So our own energy will also draw us to the group that is most aligned with us, right? So naturally you will inclined to go to a certain group because you feel that there's some connection, and you rightly pointed out that it is your own energy. It could also be the mindset that you are portraying. Maybe that group over there feels safe, everybody is so cordial, everybody is so harmonious, whereas there's the other group, you have someone very high power there, full of high energy, and you feel very intimidated and you don't want to join them because you don't feel like you are part of them. Therefore, you choose the group that you feel safer with. So end of the day, you're so right, it is your own presence, your own energy.
Just like the law of attraction. It's like vibrating your own energy that can resonate with someone of the right frequency. That's when the people are just attracted together, and that's where your relationship can go beyond, and that when business can happen.
And that's how we all get together, right?
I think it's a good reminder to all of us and audience out there that be mindful of this when we go for networking the next time.
Yes, very important thing. Because networking is important, but we really have to be wary as well. Because the signal that we send out to the world, right? Because that's when they also see us. We must attract the right people. And if you don't do the right thing, you are always meeting the wrong people. Then wrong people come in your life. Then actually they suck, and they are so toxic, and they really suck the daylight of you. Yeah. So you need to really send out the right energy, the right signal out, yeah, so that right people can come to your life.
Okay, this is so interesting. So how do you prepare yourself to attract the right people, to attract Liang and Adeline?
So I think this is so important, you know, while we want to go to the correct person or we want to go to the high energy person, what makes you think that when you go to them,
The person will accept you.
yes, I think so,
Can
yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
actually, I really don't have the answer because sometimes it's just that feeling. Yeah, that feeling and the way the person speaks, the person behave himself, the way they stand. Yeah, it matters a lot, really, because sometimes it's that feeling. So, but the kind of feeling I really cannot explain, but you really have to do a lot more networking, meet more people, and that skill will just come naturally to you. Yeah.
It's not because of age.
No, nothing to do with it. I'm quite sure younger people can also do that. Yeah, I'm quite sure because it's that training. They're doing repetitive training that can help you to find that particular skill set. Because over the years, I realized in the last 6 years, the more networking I've done, tend to attract all very, very good people. Yeah, maybe I'm blessed, I'm lucky, but again, joining the right networking group does matter a lot. Yeah.
Is it your gut feel?
Yeah, very much gut feel. That's like how I met her. We just met her. I think nobody will start a business knowing someone. I think knowing someone less
Yeah.
than a year, right? We started.
I think it's months.
Yeah, months lah. Yeah. So
Less than a
it's
month.
ridiculously short. Yeah. Some friends after 20 years also don't want to do business with that person. So sometimes you just have that feeling. That's the person that you trust that person to work together with you.
I think you mentioned something very, very important, that how do you go and attract the right people. I think having the right mindset is very important. You can go to many networking meetings, but if you go there with the mindset of, I want to go there to get something out of these people, to get contact, to get network, to increase my businesses, then the mindset is wrong. But if you go there hungry to learn, to understand more people, to give value. Very important is you go there with the mindset of, okay, what value can I give to these people? Then slowly but surely you will find that you are on the path of finding the right tribe that I always emphasize. And a lot of people that I meet, they say, no, Adeline, I got no value to give. I say everybody has something to contribute. It can be just a smile, it can be just a very empathetic response, it can be just showing care, and that is good enough. That is kind intention, and that is also giving value or giving support. So for example, this morning I just went to a networking meeting. I saw this lady sitting all by herself there, and for some reason I just walked out to her. I just introduced myself and I complimented her outfit, and you can see that immediately her face light up. And of course I don't do it because it was shallow, because I just want to compliment her. She really have a very nice outfit. So for the rest of the networking meeting, we hit off like good friends, we exchange name card, and that's where she realized the work I do, and she said that she's also interested to become an entrepreneur. And we set up the next coffee chat already, immediately, and made a new friend. And that was the biggest reward for that networking meeting. I actually didn't meet anyone else after that. But is that important? Because I don't go there intentionally to get a lot of name cards. I just make one good friend, and the friendship stays to me. That is good enough for me.
I think that is true. I think when you say that, I remember there are a few rules that I set for myself. Sometimes not to go for quantity. It's not going crazily mad, changing name cards. Yeah. Don't go to the process of changing name cards. Sometimes it's just, in fact, most of the time I find the best person to connect with is the person that sits quietly in one corner. And tell you, that is the person that has the greatest value, because he doesn't need to go out to network with people. People that goes out to connect people, those are just hunters. People who are very good at themselves, they are so confident about themselves, they just quietly sit down there. And that's your best opportunity to go and approach them, make them feel at home, make them feel good, and that's when your relationship goes to the next level. So next time when you go next networking, look for someone that is not connected, sitting in one corner. Just go to them and just strike a new conversation with them.
It could be the
Wise
gem.
words. Yeah, I think those that are being hunted, they can feel it that the shark is coming. Then this is about the natural characteristic or trait that we all ourselves have. So while I always say that I'm an introvert, people don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe.
But I'm an
Yeah,
introvert,
me too.
right? So I'm an introvert. So in networking, if I were to join and I bring myself there, then of course the purpose is to network. But it drains my battery faster than the extrovert, right? But in networking session, then of course I put on different hats in different occasions. So when I go for networking, I put on the extrovert hat and go and mingle and stuff like that. But it drains my energy more. But on days that I feel good, I would go and try to reach. There's a certain KPI, a certain purpose, because I go there to network and mingle. So I will go out. But other times when the battery is a bit low, then I tend to be the one that's sitting there. Yeah. May or may not be that I'm confident and stuff like that. Yes, I'm confident generally. Yeah, but I think it's also depending on the social battery. Being very clear that what is the purpose there. But I do agree a lot that first bring and give value. People would generally appreciate and reciprocate. And I think relationships can be built faster, better, stronger on that basis.
On what Yang say, give value, right? So normally giving value, although you give value, but you must also know what the person needs. Yeah, because if you give value and the person don't need the value, it's also not going to be useful. So how do you get to really understand what the person needs? So you really need to really ask the person. I think the best way is to ask, what will be your greatest challenge? What is the things that bothering? What is keeping you late at night thinking every day? So that person will be willing to share. So if the person pain point, then if you have the solution, you have done it before, and that's when you can try to help them out. Yeah, I think that will be valuable to them, especially. Well, maybe it could just be something that you have gone through already, and you have just after maybe a couple of years, you find out how to do it. And that moment you share the person, oh, it's like, wow, my whole entire purpose for being a networking, I find that it's worthwhile. I think just probing, right? How do you have a situation like this?
Yes, definitely. To me, it's also about listening very intensely, observing the body language, whether the person is comfortable sharing now. I mean, after all, it's a networking session, right? You could be meeting the person the first time, so you really have to read the person. Whether should I push further, should I go deeper in the conversation, or should I just touch and go, or do I arrange for another session? So all these, yes, require practice and of course showing up, going to more networking session, and also understanding yourself, like you know that, oh, okay, my battery is low, I need to stop there. And when you sit there quietly by yourself, right, sometimes we send out a vibes like do not disturb, and nobody will come in. But a lot of people, they don't have that. Sometimes they go to a networking session, they hide in a corner and they pray that nobody will come and talk to them. So I asked them, then what's the purpose of going to a networking session, right? Because they force themselves to go out there, but then they are not ready.
I think we escalated from the age to networking 101.
Yes, because we got so much experience.
Yeah, because you're doing this almost every week, almost every day also, right?
Almost every day. Networking need not be a large group. Networking can be a very small group or even one-on-one.
I think networking is like what both of you correctly put it, is mutual. So party A is listening, then party B also needs to be clear on what exactly he needs and what he actually wants to deliver. Because there are occasions whereby I can sit there and listening to the whole day, but I don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Like on both ends, so on one end is, you know, instead of just blabbering off, listen. Then on the other end is for ourselves is how do we deliver our message clearly? How do I then tell you in the shortest possible time what I do, who am I, what I do, what do I need? Then of course, right, if I can't get that across, then how can people help me? How can people deliver value to me? How can people know what is of value to me? So back in the Navy, we will say, ask and you shall be given. If you don't ask, then of course the answer will always be no. If you don't ask, then of course you won't have it. Like if you ask, you need to hit the point. You know, how can I read your mind? Meaning back to the gender question, right? Tell me what you want. You don't tell me what you want, then how are you also not a worm in your stomach, or how do you know what you want?
But in school, we are conditioned, we are taught not to ask questions. So sometimes we don't know how to ask questions, and that's why Divergent is there to help entrepreneurs in various ways, helping them with their communication skills, helping them with setting the right mindset, helping them with all these networking skills, asking the right questions, listen intensely, reading the crowd, yes, have a good sensing, yes.
I think just to add a bit more, I think being curious and also wanting to know more about the person. I think that's matter. It has to be authentic. It cannot be something so fake. You're really curious about that person. Just let the person start talking more, and you just take one step back and just listen and ask questions and just be curious. I think that gives that in the conversation, because you only can offer what you have only when you listen intensely and also actively listening. Just giving feedback, and that's when you can really bring to the next level in conversation. But most, I think, in the market right now, they are really so eager, like rushing for time to really get to everybody what I do. Yeah, not listening. I feel sometimes it should be the other way around, rather than what we offer is like asking, what are the things that you need, and see whether how can I offer you, whether I can offer you or my network can offer you. It's not really so much about having the whole world with a loudspeaker say I'm doing this. It's rather listening what the person needs. If sometimes in a networking group you are giving value not only to the person, because we have a big network behind us, that we can also help them, help our network behind to connect and solve problems whoever we're talking on a day-to-day basis. And then that's all networking is about.
I think we can go on and on about this because as you're sharing this, I thought of something, but I thought that yes, then it become a master class on networking.
Networking 101.
Yes.
Yes. Very lonely.
Yeah, the truth is, until you find your own tribe, right? I mean, that's why when you are stranded out there in the ocean and then you see someone, you see a plank, then you hop onto the plank. But the thing is, in the entrepreneurship journey, the thing is, why would you feel like you are in the ocean? Because in the ocean of people, there's no plank. The plank being another entrepreneur who knows you, who feels you, who walk through the same journey as you. Then, wow, you know me. You can't bring your problems back home, or you bring your problem back home, you will have, maybe you have some emotional support, darling, you're the best, we're behind you. But they might, the spouse might not be able to, sometimes it's not about providing solution or stuff, but it's like, they don't know what you are going through, they don't know what you might need. Okay, so maybe men need solution, women need emotional support and stuff like that, but you don't feel that you're understood. Yeah, and it really, out there in the ocean of people that really plan or the life boy is, you feel that the only person that can understand you is another entrepreneur that's going through the same journey. So yes, it's really lonely there. That's why I think people, especially when they are stressed and stuff like that, don't want to talk to or don't want to bring the problem home. That kind of support is much needed, especially today.
Yeah, especially today, day to day, there's 1,001 things to do. Earlier on, you said there's so much to learn, right? Every day, I found myself overwhelmed with a lot of things, a request, proposal, 1,001 things to do, and who am I going to tell, right? Because if I tell someone, they say, you asked for it, what? Right? Don't do lah. Or they say, "Ayya, so tired, just quit." So yes. So sometimes you can feel very lonely, and we meet a lot of very strong entrepreneurs every day. So when I look at them, they're so strong. They look like they know what they're doing. They look like that. Of course, they are very successful, right? So sometimes when I talk to them, I realize that, hey, we actually share the same challenges. I remember there was one meeting. This keynote speaker, he's a businessman. After he shared, and I went out to share with him some of my challenges. And then I asked him one question. Have you ever thought of giving up? Guess his answer. He said, every day. And that moment, I felt that we are so connected. And I felt like all my pressure, everything just melted. I felt like, I'm not alone. Of course, end of the day, I still have to face this alone. But at that time, I felt so connected. And that's why we keep telling people, the audiences out there, it's so important to find a community. Yes, you go back, you are going to be alone, but when you are back with your tribe, with your community, they have your back. They will share your challenges, and they will, together we can work out something, or they can be at my sounding board, or they can mentor me. So yes, to answer to that question, founders are definitely very, very lonely, but once you find your community, you will get the support that you need. And it will be less lonely.
Yeah. Then the sidetrack, because I also realized we keep on using the word tribe. Notice that we do not use the word family. A tribe is a group of people you choose. Family is a group of people you are born with and stuck with. Yeah, starting can choose. Yeah. So it's very different. Yeah. So tribe, you choose, meaning that you can unchoose as well. But family is difficult to unchoose sometimes. Yeah. But of course, certain relationship can still be unchoose. But naturally, you are just born into, and it's so difficult to break a family tie. But in tribe, I think basically it's about something very dynamic, something you choose. And also, having the same tribe doesn't mean that you have to be with us forever. because at times you need to move on to the next stage again. You need to find a new tribe again. That's what tribe about. Tribe is about evolving new tribe and going to a better tribe again. Yeah. So I think the word tribe is very important that way, because you have to find the right tribe, and once a tribe comes to a point, you need to find a new tribe again. Yeah. So life needs to be evolved. But back again to that lonely entrepreneur, right?
Are you lonely?
Yeah, for me, I started not lonely because I had partners to start with the business. So in '98, I lost my business. I was lonely, but I discovered that I don't need partners, I need collaborators. So I'm also a business friend that I can work with. And that's when, so you have a choice. Yeah, you need to find people that you can share your pain, your sorrow, and also your joy. Yeah, I think that's important to find in the, but however, you can only do that and find people only in a networking group. It means that you really have to put yourself out there, expose, meaning let people to really come into your life, and that's when your life will change, and you really can impact your business and your future as well. Yeah. So lonely, you really have to be brave to really step out. Loneliness you can eliminate quite easily. Yeah. But if you enjoy loneliness, then yeah. But again, loneliness and being comfortable, being alone, I think is different. I like to be alone. Yeah, but I don't like to be lonely. Yeah. So being alone is okay, but being lonely is not okay.
But I also remembered something. I think why we have this topic, why we think founders can be lonely. Sometimes when we have small wins or there's victories in our businesses, who do we tell? Who do we celebrate with, right? You sometimes you share with your good friends, but they are not on the same page as you, as they are not in this business. They don't understand what you went through in order to have this win. So it's like, I tell them, for example, hey, I just clinched a deal, I just got a workshop. They are like, oh, congratulations. But you know how many nights of sleep I lost in order to get this, right? So I'm not looking for words of affirmation, but how should I put it? They don't understand. They don't understand like my joy, you know? Yeah.
I think maybe they don't understand the size. They don't understand the magnitude of effort put inside, so they can't sense it. Yeah, really can't sense it. So you're right. So basically, it's just like sharing your joy with a small little baby. I'm very happy, but the baby, yeah, because he cannot comprehend that size, the magnitude of that joy that you have. Yeah, you need to find someone that really. It's not really like the kind of formation. It's more like to feel the excitement, to really put the person in your shoe and really get excited and happy at the moment.
Yeah, it's just that when we completed the workshops, how much effort we put in, right? And when we finally completed the mission, wow, the kind of relief, like wow, okay, everything went well. Not that it's super great, but okay, whatever we planned to do, we executed it.
Just on this point, it's a bit sidetrack off the question, but on this point, on these 2 points of first about people out there not being able to understand you in that sense, especially celebrating your joy. 1, 2, just now another one, we should say that entrepreneurs say that I won't give up so many times. So these 2 actually has a common point. So entrepreneurs will always say that yeah, I will think of giving up every time. But so many days pass already, why I haven't give up? So this is also another trait of entrepreneurs. Never give up. Wow, yeah. I give up. Every day I think I want to give up, but
I'm still here.
Why you still do it? Yeah. So entrepreneurs have this habit, or has this unique value. Very hard to give up. Just 怕被动, 怕被戏, just keep going. Like I say, yeah. So that's 1, right? Then 2, whereby you say, then it makes me think of why they cannot feel it. Do you naturally become an entrepreneur when you start a business? Anyone can start a business as long as you have some money and some time and you just want to start something, right? But I think we are on the same page whereby entrepreneurs, you need to, there's a checklist and that just I think a business doesn't necessarily equate into being an entrepreneur, or at least in our books, right? But then it makes me think also because just now I wanted to say that, because they are just working for someone and then it's a job. But then I recall when I was in the Navy, when I achieved milestone, I'm also happy. When I do something, I take it as, I'm accountable for it, it's my thing, and then I do it, and then when I really get it done and stuff, I am truly happy, elated, feel accomplished, feel fulfilled. But the thing is, I cannot say the same for my peers, right? So yeah, the kind of pride that you associate with your job and the things that you are tasked, you are accountable for, I think that's also a telltale. So that's like, at first I said, the employee, but when I was working somewhere, it's like, no leh. Then I also observe others that are out there, it's like, also no, but also more importantly, don't want to offend people outside lah, right? So I think entrepreneurship is a mentality. Just starting a business doesn't make you an entrepreneur, and it doesn't mean that if you are an employee, you do not have entrepreneurial mindset. Yeah, I think it is the kind of spirit that you embody.
So actually this point is very important. So there are entrepreneurs and there are business owners. So not all entrepreneurs are business owner, or business owner are entrepreneurs. Yeah. So what do you think are the differences?
I used to be a business owner. All I care is how do I make more money, right? How do I improve my businesses so that I can make more money? Yes, I think that's a business owner mindset. Okay, I'm still new in the business, so this is how I segregate. But today I can say that I'm an entrepreneur because now I go out there, I meet different people. I meet people who are way more successful than I am. I tap into their knowledge, their wisdom, and now I'm able to dream bigger. I can even imagine that I will not even stay in these businesses. In fact, just starting networking for about a couple of months, I've already started 2 more businesses, right? So that's the entrepreneurial mindset whereby it's limitless. The sky's your limit so long, and you have the belief in yourself that so long as I continue this path, I work on it diligently, I'm going to get to the goal with the support of other people. And entrepreneur, of course, the mindset. And also entrepreneur, the people that I meet, they are very humble. Sometimes they are so humble to the point that I didn't realize that they run an empire behind them. And when I know what they are doing, it blows my mind. How can these people, they are so successful and they are so humble? So entrepreneur has this mindset. They are very humble, they are very eager to learn. They are also very keen to give back, and that's why I'm very blessed to be guided by many entrepreneurs, very wise people by my side. So to me, that is the difference between entrepreneur and business owner who just care about himself and just look after his own territory.
Then what do you think the difference between entrepreneur and business owner?
Thinking through rather than,
or are you both?
Other than classifying myself I was just thinking of the many other names I could think of for people that have their own business, other than entrepreneur. There is like business manager, there's like self-employed, there is like
sole proprietor.
It just goes back to my point that having a business doesn't naturally qualify you to be an entrepreneur. It's a kind of mindset, forward-looking, trying new things, making things work, making the best use of your resources, achieving more, bringing your team forward. And it really, entrepreneur to me embodies a lot of value, spirit, drive, and stuff like that. That it doesn't. Starting a business doesn't naturally in my dictionary qualifies you to be an entrepreneur.
I think there are a lot of business owners out there who see themselves as entrepreneur, but they are not. So for me, how I differentiate them is like business owners are optimizing resources to maximize profit. Entrepreneurs are people that seek out the biggest problem they find and constantly looking for resources to solve them. So this is my simple definition of that. Because entrepreneurs are always trying to find the biggest problem there is in the market, then looking for resources, either people, time, money, to really leverage on this and to find a solution out there. And money usually is not their concern at that moment because they only want to come up with a solution. Because they know when you find the solution, that's when the money comes. But however, business owners, the focus is on the money. So it's a very different mindset. But normally I will feel it's a progression, meaning you start with an entrepreneur, then later on one is stabilized, then it becomes like a business owner. So there's a slow progression there. So that things takes time to reach there. But again, some people get a bit tired after they become business owner because business owner is about just maximizing profit. So that's when the entrepreneur will just start another new business again. Yeah, that's why like you see real business people who are really entrepreneurs are opening up multiple businesses. They always want to build the entire ecosystem. They always want to build more value so that they can actually build the entire empire with all the ecosystem built inside.
I think you bring up something very important, building the ecosystem. So for me, business owner, I'm just looking at this, looking what's right in front of me for my business. But entrepreneur will look at the bigger picture, the bigger vision. What is the ecosystem required in order to support the different businesses to thrive? And that's why we are also building an ecosystem, and building that community is definitely one part of it.
I will still be an entrepreneur because it's in the spirit, right? Yeah, you taking the business away from an entrepreneur doesn't make him or her lesser of a person or lesser of an entrepreneur.
Correct. Even for me, when I started business, even up to today, I don't have plan B. Yeah, I will keep on doing what I do. I will never give up because giving up has never even occurred in my mind. Yeah, because it's always changing. Because in business, it's always about changing, pivoting, and making the right decision so that you go back again. Yeah, because sometimes, but as a true account entrepreneur, failure is not an option. You never say you want to give up, or it never appears in the person's mind. Although you may say it, but you never go there and do it on. Yeah. Because when you say it just for fun, just wanna sound more human, and we actually are human, right? Because sometimes, so we get tired and we just say that. It's like normal, but we will never give up. We just say for the fun of saying, and then we never give up. And then we just keep on doing, improving again.
Hypothetical, it's a hypothetical question. So I think I resonate with Ronald a lot. Why? Then, you mean if tomorrow my business fail, then what would I be? Right? What is your plan B? The plan B is so that my business don't fail. I will have plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G so that my business don't fail. Why do you want to make my business fail? Why must my business fail?
But I can answer that question. If my businesses fail, I will never go back to be a corporate employee ever again. Because now I realize that I can do so much more, and even my businesses fail, I'm sure I'll be somewhere there setting up a community. Like you said, we naturally embodied the entrepreneurship, so it will be going out there to serve. And when you see a problem, naturally that spirit will come to you, and you will know, okay, I need to activate this resource, I need to start this community, and before you know it, you just started another entrepreneur or start another company.
The itchy backside syndrome cannot stop one, and especially if you are really into the journey already. The only thing, so what you do next is either you are into another business already, then if not, you are in the process or progress of starting another business. I think that's pretty much what most or all of the entrepreneurs or business owners that I know of would tell you.
But I don't think that is itchy backside syndrome. To me, we always want to help people. Whenever for me, my plate is so full already. But whenever I heard of someone having that problem, my heart wants to go out there to help that person. How can I support this person? What kind of resources can I activate? So I guess we always want to problem solve. And we know we can solve it.
Solving problems, filling gaps, how can we do it better? So it's always
and there's also this mindset in us, nothing is impossible. Do you agree? To me, I feel that I reach a phase whereby nothing phases me anymore. Even there's a big challenge, I know I will overcome it because it's tested and trial time and again, where I thought that I'm not going to cross this hurdle, but miraculously I crossed the hurdle. So it has given me a lot of strength and courage. So much so that when I have another challenge, okay lah, we're going to make it happen. We will just do it. Yes.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Really. In fact, if you ask me to do anything to solve any problem, just give me the problem. I'll find a way to solve it. Give me the bigger problem and I'll find a way to solve it. So it's like as confident that I will never fail finding a solution to that. Because I will always be hungry, curious, and if the problem is big enough, if it excites me, I'll find it.
Actually very excited, right? When the problem is so big,
so difficult. If you tell me it's never been solved, if you tell me say nobody can solve it, I'll be interested.
And that's why we started this, right?
Yes.
Because
nobody has done it before, and a lot of people don't want to run it. Because sometimes it's like, because it's so tough, Because we are building a community, it's something nobody bothers to put in time to really do it.
Yeah, then we also ask ourselves, there's so many institutes out there already, WSQ courses, entrepreneurship. Why should they come to Divergent? Right? We ask ourselves this question so much, right? But then we realize that we got so much value to give, right? We have a big community that we can bring people to. You can bring people to cross-shore, to international platforms, right? You've got so much insights to share, and I can share with them, I can teach them on the soft skills. So yeah, we are a great team.
Yeah, true. I think it's all about building community and bringing people together. Yeah, that's when putting people together, I think to be as cliche as ever, like the chopstick thing, right? You can put chopstick more together, it's unbreakable. Yeah, so really unity is strength, number is strength, really putting people together and really brainstorm, we will definitely find a solution. Yeah, I don't think we cannot, there's not a single problem that is solvable, but I think the difficult thing is to find the big problem. That is difficult. Yeah, it must be something that excites you so much until you cannot fall asleep and you're so curious, digging, anything can be solved. As long as you put your heart and soul, put your time, because at the end of the day, it excites you, your energy will flow, your time and passion will move, and if it can excite you, the people around you, your community around you will also get excited as well. If the problem is big enough, the impact to the world is even big enough, that really will make the difference.
I think on what Adeline shared also, why Divergent, what we do, right? What if we do and there is no reach, it is not successful and stuff like that, going back to the point, not successful, why you feel and stuff like that. To me personally, it is, would I wish for an easier journey? The answer is of course yes lah, because like so tough so looking back, no, of course I wish that it is an easier journey, but what were the resources out there, what were the channels out there and stuff like that. So I mean, being a 过来人 or having been through the journey, I would wish to make it easier for people that come after me. So end of the day, I just tell myself, I started my own channel doing talking about entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Reach out as many people as I can. I also don't know who is there, but coming together with others that understand me, that can resonate with me, and it sort of pushes me to do more. We push each other to do more. When I slack off, Ronald will come, then we both slack off, then the guy slack off, then Adeline will come and push and stuff like that. So we keep moving. Sometimes one moves slower, the other two will just bring along, stuff like that. But end of the day, is really, to me, is we do, if it helps you. To me, that is already success. Helping even just one person. And the truth is, there are many people that are already reaching out and say, hey, I think what you do is for a good cause, it really help me, it really motivate me. I'm looking out forward to what you say every day. I think that helps because it can be silent. I don't need you to come and reach out to me or talk to me. But some people just prefer to be on their own, like you say. But these little clips out there that reaches TikTok, Facebook, if you see this and it motivated you, inspired you, I think we succeeded. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, we started this not really to make more money. It's really to bring the people together, to share our collective wisdom. We have together over 4 decades, right? Or more than that, right? Of experiences, wisdom, insights to share, so that they don't have to go through the pain that we have gone through. They can walk a much easier path.
So again, why I start this is also because I spent over 33 years to where I am today, but what I want is to help to make your journey shorter. Whenever pain comes in, at least you can overcome it easier. So what I hope to really, what I have gone through 33 years, you can do it within 3 years. So I think that will be something that really matters a lot to me. I really want to help you to really shorten your journey and make your journey a pleasant one. You at least enjoy the journey, because I have gone through the pain and I wish people would be having it with lesser pain. But again, remember we said earlier, we have pain, then you gain, with gain, then you can learn, right? So however, just to cushion a bit, so the main purpose is to make our journey more enjoyable. So it's really that, because for me, we've gone through the early days, those are very painful days. But in today's context, with new type and technology, you don't have to be so painful anymore because you already have technology within your fingertips, and whatever you do, whatever the mind that you can imagine, you can recreate out in the world. It's so simple this way. With AI, I tell you, AI is really going to change the world, really, because I'm quite sure with AI, entrepreneurship is gonna be made possible. Last time, 30 years ago, it's not possible because you need people that can print, you need people that can draw, you need people that can code. But today, in today's context with AI, you can practically be a one-man company that can really run a business. What it took maybe about 20 people, and now you can do it within yourself and you can start this yourself. And we're gonna be a part that can help you to really make your journey more pleasant.
And also to help their dream come true. Help them discover themselves, help their dream to come true, and we develop their skill sets and eventually help them to deliver whatever that they want to do.
Maybe you have to stand up and show the camera. I think touching a bit more on that is that having a mentor, having a community really expedite your journey, expedite your learning, expedite your business journey. Having mentor, leveraging on experience, having community, you can tap on many industrial experts, and what you are, the trouble that you are facing now, maybe someone in another industry have faced it before, and they can tell you the insights. They can tell you what they did, they share with you and stuff like that, and it will, to you it is a problem. To them it was a problem. Yeah, so everything is expected. Why do you need to spend? It's really more pain, more gain. If I can remove the pain and you gain, isn't it better? Yeah. So I think, yeah, so that is, we always say, just like say chopstick. Say if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. So just how Ronald mentioned the point whereby it's a process. Entrepreneurs will become business owners. They are in the comfort level already, or they are in high stress and they want to just slack off a bit. So I always say it is in you. You cannot sit still. But if you really go into like the comfort zone and you never go out, then I think it is just you were just in high stress because you want to survive. You are in survival mode, you are not in entrepreneur mode. Yeah. A true entrepreneur will always, get out of the comfort zone. It might just be resting longer, but you will get out of the comfort zone. You will want to get out of the comfort zone because you can't sit still. Right? So think about the point whether we talk about gender, we talk about age, then the other one is about culture or geographical differences about country. Whether Singaporeans compared to other nationalities, Malaysian, Chinese, are we too sheltered? Are we too educated, sheltered, or comfortable?
Maybe I share a bit here because I've met quite a number of Taiwanese, Hong Kong, even Malaysian. I personally feel that they are more hungry than Singaporean because frankly in Singapore we are too sheltered. The government is just too nice to us. Yeah, given us the answers when we were young, we just follow that pathway and we are okay. Yeah. Other world, for example, even Malaysia, just across the causeway, things are not that great. Yeah. Even let's say being a Chinese over there, you're marginalized because in Malaysia, a lot of rights that you don't have. I think Malaysia, if you resonate well over there, even you have straight A's and maybe you cannot do the U anymore. Just imagine that living in that kind of like pain and frustration, you are not given the opportunity. Then you feel that you need to fight more than normal. Yeah, that's when it makes you hungry even at a very young age. In worlds whereby the country don't care you, and that's when you feel pain, and that's when pain brings hunger. Yeah, in Singapore, I think it's a bit weird to get government to inflict pain to us in order to be hungry. Yeah, but however, I find government is just because I've gone through 33 years with different government, with Lee Kuan Yew, with Goh Chok Tong, all that era. I feel that in today's context, just too sheltered. We are just overprotected because before we can feel pain, government step in and protect us. So we never feel pain. If you don't feel pain, you will never learn. You never learn, you are never hungry. Yeah, so in the way the government love us and take good care of us, it's just like a parent and child. You take good care of a child, you shelter them, protect them, even they want to fall, you don't let them fall. Yeah, then how can the person be strong? How can the person really fight his way out and know how to react and stand up and keep on fighting again? Yeah. So but however, again, we cannot complain, right? Because on end, we cannot get the government say, hey, take away all those things. Yeah, because we are already so comfortable, we are already adapt to that comfort already. Yeah. Once you have that comfort, to take out that comfort is almost impossible. Even it's just like when you every day you enjoy very good food, then suddenly ask you to maybe just eat rice. It's almost too much pain already. Yeah. So again, human don't react so much with having something so much and really nothing. Yeah. So that is something that I'm thinking, is there any other way whereby Singaporean can become hungry over again? How can they be more hungry? So I just putting out there, do we have any ideas to make Singapore more hungry again?
So when you share all these experiences, right, other than the business owner, is the employees that you have, you have a fair share of
yes, I have
staff
Singaporeans
from,
and
is it?
I have about maybe twice the amount of Malaysian compared to Singaporean. Even the Singaporean who are also hungry, they were actually ex-Malaysian. Yeah, so it's very weird. So because in Singapore, I did share this example before. In Singapore, we have a lot of like vouchers. Every year we have vouchers, more and more and more vouchers. Like you see an avalanche of vouchers last year. Yeah, so it's like we are so accustomed. I bet you if the government stop giving a bit of vouchers, the people will start to question, what happened? No voucher already, no money already. So it's very weird kind of feeling. If like government take good care, does this mean that the government have to constantly up the game year? Are we becoming so dependent on handouts that we lost our will to fight?
Just like the SkillsFuture credit, right, expired last year, right? And around me they say that, don't worry, next year they will sure launch another SkillsFuture. I don't think so. Yeah. So you're right, we are complacent in that sense that if we ever run into any hardship, right, we know Akong somewhere will, will lend a helping hand and lift us up. So for me, I think this is a general sentiment that we are not hungry enough. I think also because we have many options. We are very well cushioned, right? In our old age, we will have CPF that's already set aside for us. And when you talk about HDB, the government constantly tweak the policy just to make sure that everybody their head. The government loves us so much that we are so well taken care of. You don't have to worry. Why go and be entrepreneur and long pia? Why go and inflict pain? Only crazy people like us self-inflict. Yes.
Yeah. So but however in the real world right now, right, I would see lesser employment in the years to come, and I will see more entrepreneurial kind of like opportunity coming out soon, a lot more. Yeah. But however, employment I see going down because skill set we are not catching up. In Singapore environment, we are not hungry to learn. The first question that a typical Singaporean asks when to a person, the person will say, "Can you use grant? Got grant?" Yeah, it's not whether the grant, whether the training is it beneficial to the person, whether the training can help it to grow. It's rather got grant. Yeah, so it's like, shouldn't that be a secondary rather than a primary? Yeah, so it just feels very weird. And also today's context, or start this thing will be a totally new game altogether again. It's like you see in today's context, you see a lot of old people attending classes only, whereby the young people are not going for classes. So when old people go for classes and when attend classes, are they going to get employment? Do they even someone older, given the fact that younger are not learning? So there is a big problem that they're going to face. Like for example, a 60 years old person going for training, will businesses offer them a job? Or then what happened to the young ones? The young ones, because of AI, they cannot even start the entry level business. No, entry level work, because now AI has eliminated all the entry-level jobs already. So not the opportunity, how can they even gain experience to get mid-level managerial kind of work? So things are changing so dynamically. I feel things are so out of control. Yeah, so I fear even I really do not know how, but I can sense because I also on the other hand I'm also equally excited because this is a very big problem. So as an entrepreneur,
very
at the same time
excited.
as a citizen, I feel pain, and so it's a totally different funny feeling, but that's why I want to express this thing out.
Sometimes, you feel frustrated that you wish our fellow Singaporean can be more hungry and more eager.
It's like you go shopping, then you buy something that is on discount. You don't need, rather than buying something that you need. Yeah, that's not on discount.
Are you talking about me? I try to convince myself that I need it.
Yeah, so because it's good value, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So next time I will need it.
I think when Ron said the older people are going because there's like more subsidy, there's more grant for older people that is going more older than 40 and stuff like that. Maybe the people that need it because there's no grant or because the grant is lesser, then they don't go at that. But end of the day, do you need it? If you don't need it, even if it's like free, why waste your time? Unless you are not going to upgrade yourself, you are going there to spend time, right? Or to look for a company. Okay, sure. So Ronald also brought up a point whereby you foresee the drop and there will be more entrepreneur. So are they becoming entrepreneur because they have better skill sets, or because being entrepreneur is associated with being more flexible, having more benefits, etc. So which is which? Is it because they have evolved, or because it is easier? But it sounds like if Singaporeans are not as hungry and not evolving, then it sounds like it is an easy way out rather than they are entrepreneur. They are just coming up to start their own business because it is easier. It is deemed or associated with it. Actually sounds like that, and it is scary. You are becoming an entrepreneur, you are becoming a businessman because it is easy. Because you think you want to, not because you can. And that's why I think we need to enable, or we need to make people more capable, more able to becoming a business owner or entrepreneur, rather than them suffering out there. Yeah, because they might want to, they might not be capable, or they might not be ready.
Correct. So I for what Silian had mentioned earlier on, right? So there are a lot of young people because they cannot find job. Then what they did was they try to sell something on Shopee. Yeah. So that kind of thing maybe can buy some time, but however on the long run, all this platform eventually will just raise up their transaction cost. At the end of the day, there's no money to be made anymore. Like that's the real facts. You can see eventually when Grab started, Grab give it very cheap, and over time it actually increases the price of Grab. Yeah. So platforms are there to entice you, to bring you the platform by giving freebies, being low cost. But once you are in, you get sucked in the habitual things that you could do on a day-to-day basis. Whenever you want to buy Grab, you straight away Grab here, Grab there, or Gojek. Yeah. So they want to make it into a habit, and that's when your spending thing will start to change. So where I'm trying to say, for youngsters, you must really think more than just being an e-commerce. Yeah, because eventually that piece of opportunity will just go off. So but however, there are a lot more opportunities, but you really need to identify and really spend time looking at today's problem and really see how can you play a part to really solve the big problem, picking up skill sets, picking up talent, picking up the resource, go out to meet people and really get ideas to solve the big problem. Not just to be a Grab driver or maybe just be something to pass time, but eventually all these jobs, you all know, with AI and robotics and agentic AI, all these jobs will eventually disappear. But however, you need to know what you can use tools that can really help you to be your own business one day, and really advance to the next stage. Yeah. So really don't restrict yourself to just simply be that. Yeah.
Obviously prepare themselves before the crisis hit them. Yeah, we are anticipating the crisis is going to hit us even earlier than what we imagine, right?
So for entrepreneurs, we have to get ourselves ready lah. Yeah, we have to get ourselves ready, get our act together, really be silos of people. We need to be collected, come together, consolidate together, and really have the collective wisdom to really solve the very big problems like what we are facing today. So, but again, this is a very big problem. You're not going to solve this problem, and the problem just snowball and totally out of control. So it's going to be very sad because today learning has become so different. Yeah. So because when I was young, I don't like to study. I hate studying, but I love learning. Yeah. Learning is something bring joy to me, make me wanting to know more. But studying is something I hate most. So we really need to evolve our education culture from really not studying, but and get that culture of learning is fun, learning is enriching, learning is the way of life. Yeah. So really, look, for me, I'm sure even when I grow older, 70, 80, I think I will still enjoy learning. I will still be curious. I always ask why, just like a small kid. Yeah. So even just imagine one old guy always asking why this, why that, how come like that. Yeah. So really be curious, because once you're curious, there are so many things that you can be excited about. Yeah. So really, it's joy to life.
Talking about hungry, right? It is really the culture, the environment you are in and stuff like that. You know, while the KPI measure of a good government is that you take care of the people and stuff like that. And yes, Singaporeans general public are well taken care of, or the majority are well taken care of. Creating that kind of a very well planned, well structured, and therefore sheltered environment. And the thing is, like we also spoke about, going to the comfort zone, etc. There are people that are in the comfort zone that foresee and plan for the rainy days. There are also people that are stuck in the comfort zone thinking that it will be comfortable forever. And so there is COVID-19, and the government still throw in amount of subsidies, aids, etc. But the truth is there are still businesses that don't make it. Lots of businesses shut down. I think this is the true market at work. Demand and supply, survival of the fittest. It generally helps because the best survive, the best thrive. So without there's too much safety net, protection and stuff like that, and people don't fail, how do I know that I'm good enough? Am I good enough by myself, or am I just because I am on the safety net? I'm just surviving because the structures in place and stuff like that, not because true capabilities and true might. So it's about, as the legendary fisherman, you teach people how to fish, or do you give them a fish? For them, to what extent do you provide for them? I mean, that might be a bit beyond our scope or our area of influence or knowledge to share. But I can also share that, because of the discomfort that some of our neighbors or the other countries that have, employment not confirmed. Unemployment is high. 2 person to 1 job, 5 person to 1 job. Then of course you, other than performing to the level of expertise or knowledge or qualification, you need to do so because your competition is higher, whereby you are going for 1 job, interviewing for 1 job, 5 person interviewing for 1 job, 2 person interviewing for 1 job, versus 1 person going and you get the job. That is so you see that in the industry, in the local F&B scene, and Chinese F&B coming in, exceptional level of service, because in F&B good food no longer suffice. Right? It's all about packaging, service, etc. You are doing more. You are bettering yourself. You're bettering. But for the longest time, we are like that. For the longest time, there were only that few taxi services company until Grab came in to disrupt. A new way to ride, a new way to commuting, right? Then everything disrupts again. I remember a very classic one of Nokia. When we were in school, the first phone, 8310, 3310 and stuff like that. being the market leader and one day disappearing, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong. But because Nokia was the market leader, they did not do anything wrong. They did not do anything to move forward, and they were just too comfortable there. And the very next cycle, they cease to be relevant. So it's okay to get into comfort zone and to rest and take pauses so that we can go further. But the ability to forward plan, foresee, and to be on your toes, to know that you won't always be first, because there's always the most comfortable uncomfortable position is because then everybody is looking to dethrone you. Everybody wants to be you. Actually, a lot of people want to be you, but only you are at that position number one. So you just put yourself in the point of view of the number one. What can you be? I'm market leader. I'm number one market share. So my company's mission next year 2002 for year 2026, we want to be number one. I'm number one. I want to be number one. But for number two, number three, we want to be number one. We want to overtake number one. So the kind of extent of that, I can that it will be different. So then, when you are already number one, how to become number 0 or 0.5 or continue to stay hungry? I think that is our. I think that might be our real problem. How to continue to be hungry to be okay like good. You don't feel that way, but how to continue to be hungry to want to be number one because you're already there already.
Yeah, so I think you raised an important point here. Normally, being number one is very tough because you know what needs to be done, but disruption cannot come from the inside. It means it's as good as killing yourself. So it's almost impossible to really kill yourself. Yeah, beat yourself, do something, spend money, and still having the same amount of money. So just imagine you have to do a lot of work and still earn the same amount of money. Yeah, so management of view is like, do a lot of things, spend so much money, still there. Yeah, but however, it's very difficult to disrupt from the inside. Just like you want to do anything in life, you want to make change from the inside is a bit difficult because it's as good as hitting your hand, beating your leg, every pieces inside there. So just to share a very interesting story, right? Last time in China there was one company called QQ. Okay, so QQ, they know they need to innovate because they are having a crisis already. They wanting to do more, and the founder tried to do some innovation but always get rejected because a lot of people resist a lot of change from the inside. Then they tried many things, they try to do many things, but because they need to eliminate and remove part of the things out. So the founder actually gave up trying to change from the inside. So what he did, he quietly employ another group of people and tell them to develop something to beat QQ. So they set the whole ecosystem, build this group of people to actually find new ways to disrupt them. And so guess what is this new company? Yeah, I think we know all this company is called WeChat. Yeah, so imagine the way to really go beyond is actually not to disrupt from the inside but to disrupt from the outside. And the inside don't even know. Yeah, and after that they merge back again. So by using this concept, you have a lot of problems. If Nokia did that, Nokia will still be around. If Motorola did that, they will still be around. If BlackBerry did that, they will still. But a company QQ China did that, and they still are today under a different name.
It's really the A team and the B team, the company just to brainstorm and spark off. One is really to continue doing what they continue to do. Then the other department is really the company is really just to reject, refute, and to bring down all the principles and to think like a competitor. Yeah.
Right. So it's disrupting the thing there. Disrupting is good, but it cannot come from the inside. It's just a bit weird. It's
a bit weird, yeah.
A bit weird, yeah. So the resistance will be very high. Yeah, so the founder of QQ was really very astute and really take a bold move. Most Western company will never even think of to do that kind of thing. Yeah, because he did it quietly without even people from QQ know about it. Then towards the end, that he unravel the whole story, then everybody say, wow, so fantastic, this guy, how he did that. But nobody complained. But when they were struggling inside there, everybody complained, why need to change, why need to do that, why need to do anything for, and they still the same, then no point, why do? Just extra work for nothing, right?
He got the resources.
Yeah.
You're going to set up another team. You need to have resources as well.
But also he built a team from inside, he also need resource. But he built it without that knowledge of that group. So it's still the same cost, but however it's no knowledge. These people are even more hungry to beat them. So that's why it makes it even better.
I think this can be displayed into another story because we have that baggage of what we already know, right? Where we have that baggage of what we already know, like we have the industrial knowledge or the field knowledge of what we have been doing for the 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30. We have sometimes, and the wealth knowledge is your baggage as well. Because then we will always think in the same logical system and infrastructure of how we are going to do things. Right? This also evolves into family business and stuff like that, whereby your predecessors, your family, your seniors have successfully built the business that, especially if it fit you and make you grow up to who you are today. And then, with the disruption of a new era, a new event, a new generation, different spending habits, different preference, it's hard for them to change the mindset, the framework, etc. It might be easier for an outsider than to provide something better. I think that is what has shown many times. I mean, in the sense that QQ doing what they have been doing for so long, they could not get out of that framework. Yeah, just like taxi service being taxi service. Why do I need a fleet to be able to provide ride hailing? Why can't I just be a software company? Why do I need riders why do I need to have restaurants in order to do deliveries?
I think this is also an interesting story in NTUC Dagro. In fact, I was told someone actually proposed to do that internally, but because they need money to develop, then but doesn't have any impact. So that idea was thrown away.
Because number one, because monopolized.
Correct. Yeah. So he cannot, because the management will say, okay, do this. What is your end goal? What can you achieve? He say, just same. At the end of just changing the person, and you're killing jobs away. It's like killing jobs away, spending money to kill jobs, and at the same time, still revenue the same.
Yeah.
So to the management, it's like you spend money to kill jobs and get the same result.
Correct. So I think it is very hard for one to see, like it will be very kechua.
Yeah.
It's like just killer. I feel it's like same market share, 100%. Let's say 100%, let's say we multiply 100% and I do all this will be 100%, but they don't see it at the point whereby this is going to be a new trend, someone do it, we're going to lose, let's say we are going to lose 5%, we are going to lose 10%. Yeah, but I think it is more common for people to think that why do I need to better myself? 100% to 100% especially. But I think if you look at it from the outside angle, whereby it is no longer going to be 100%. You are going to become 95% if I don't do it. Yeah. What is the cost of doing it? But if you are like, what is the cost of not doing it?
Yeah. So it boils down to one thing. If you don't disrupt yourself, someone will. And the cost of that is going to be very, very high. And that is something that even it happens, you get out of that still. So what happened with NTUC Dagro, with Grab, with Gojek, all this, even then they cannot embark because by then it's too late. For them to start doing an app hailing is almost impossible, means no purpose anymore because they're too crowded for them. So really this disruption, so entrepreneurs should always think that way as well, meaning that, so what can you disrupt today in that busy marketplace? As we mentioned earlier on, learning. Like you see now training courses are done the normal way. So what can you think right now that can disrupt the whole learning, training course or what we have in Singapore right now? It must be something so disruptive, or the whole thing need to revamp because the current learning training program all are outdated. We really will disrupt the entire process of learning that way.
And that's precisely why I revamp my courses. And also I have to go out there to learn. I always tell people that I'm not a trainer. I'm more than just a trainer. I'm also a practitioner. So I need to ensure that what I'm training my learners is something that is still relevant in today's age. And you know, things are moving so fast, right? So I'm kind of like disrupting myself. I'm constantly revamping the materials to make sure that it always stays relevant, stay current, and I have to catch up with the trend. I also have to educate them what is a current trend, and also be in touch with what the industry really need. Because in my line of work, it's very easy. You just go back to the theory and you constantly just churn out and teach whatever that has worked for the past 40 years. And I believe a lot of people, a lot of training companies, that they are basing on their past experiences and they are training. The worst thing is they are training something or they're sharing the world something that is no longer relevant, but the learners, they are not aware. So for my company, I'm mindful of that, and I always want to ensure that I'm giving the best value to learners at the time that I'm conducting the training. Yeah. So it's always evolving.
So what do you think, how can we, maybe in today's context, the training scene in Singapore, how can we evolve this to something that everyone can benefit?
I mean, from why you name, I mean, it's really like diverging from the main route, from the norm and stuff like that. And we acknowledge that not everyone can be an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs themselves are divergent. We don't think mainstream, right? We don't think like the majority of the population. We don't behave like majority of the population, and our guts and our stress tolerance and the list goes on and on and on, the majority. And therefore it doesn't conform to the normal education for the masses, which is designed to be like that. Right? And I think in any economy, it cannot be that everyone becomes an entrepreneur. Then it's going to be a mess also, because you still need your labor force, you need to still people to provide the service and all the things that we need. So by off, the trade and everything, yes, indeed, not everyone is suited to become an entrepreneur. Definitely, an economy cannot have everyone be an entrepreneur.
So we are talking about how can we cater to the training, how evolve, right?
How to
Yes.
evolve the training.
Yeah, by the name Divergent is just different. So the thing is, the thing that we teach or the thing that we share is just different from the norm. It's different for all the schools, right? But we have raw, very real stuff that has been done in actual society. Real stuff, real experiences, real strategies, real things that can be done, that can be extrapolate from one business, one industry to another, and that you are more likely to see success. Just copy the success and implement it, and you will be successful.
I also think collective wisdom is so powerful. I mean, we are not pretending that three of us are the best and we know everything, but what we have is another group of community, and our community within them, they also have another bigger community behind them. So we're talking about collectively, the resources, the kind of network that we can tap on is enormous. So yeah, so in my course of work, I realized that when people come and attend training, right, they really come empty headed and think that, okay, I'm here to tap everything, I'm here to learn from you. But over the course of years, as I'm doing all this, I realize that people do have insights in them and they don't realize it. But once they start to unleash, once they start to share their stories, their pain, and actually we learn from one another, and that collective knowledge, that collective wisdom is myself. When I go for big group trainings and when people start to open up and they share their past pain, their stories, and I'm actually learning from them instead of learning from the trainer. I find more value to learn from my fellow learners, participants. And I think we've been emphasizing in now, people keep hearing about the community, the tribe, right? It's because when you bring all these like-minded people together, and people have the same synergy, people have the same experiences, I tell you, you will be in awe how much value you can hold versus you just go and attend training and then you just sit there thinking that you're going to soak in all the knowledge, and after that you have to be the subject matter expert, it is not happening. You really have to have the mindset of going there, first to unlearn, first to be open-minded, to learn from everybody, from your fellow coursemate, not just from the trainer himself.
Just now through the conversation, I actually had an idea because the new form of learning should be something very dynamic, something that can access to your current knowledge, what you already know, and what you don't know, and what the market needs. So that gap is different for everybody. So the system will be able to assess where you are, where you need to go, and develop course that can be taken at any time of the day, at any amount. So it's going to be very different from the old way whereby everybody have the same start and the same ending, and everybody need to learn at a fixed time. Yeah, so it's going to be very, very different. I see that it's possible in today's technology because and it's also evolving, especially in AI. It's like you take 3 months to study, but during that 3 months things change. But even in that 3 months, the bite-sized training that you take that can also evolve. That means from day one you have attended, they tell you maybe there are 101 things need to learn. But however, when you progress towards maybe the second or third month, suddenly they were going to be adding new module for you, maybe not 120 already. Yeah. So they were dynamically during the course of learning, also very dynamic, evolving and changing the syllabus for you. So that makes a very new way of learning that is so dynamic that is never even possible in today's context. Yeah, I think that day will come.
Well, how do you dream of that?
I just think
Revolutionary.
yeah, but it's beyond, because imagine you can learn bite-sized, meaning I got 10 minutes. I can learn 10 minutes. Tomorrow I learn another 15 minutes. So bite-sized, because no one have the time, because the way is so now you're just evolved with so many things to do, right? But you have bite-size of time to spend 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. But collectively you can put in the time. Yeah, so learning is going to be very, very different. Yeah. So but given today's context, it's possible. Yeah. But I think the challenge is how to develop this. Yeah. AI, if you know byte coding, right? I think if you can specify all the parameters, the constraint, and the objective, I think this day is possible.
I think we just come up with something. Yeah. Imagine like the same profile, then the AI is able to know what you learn, so that when I'm profile as you, I even cut short my learning because I already learned. Yes, I can skip. Yes, I learn from what you already learned and even better.
It's so dynamic and it actually sends on a day-to-day basis trendings, researching all the day. Means every day, every hour is researching and learning what you need to learn.
So you input, Rona, I only have 7 minutes today. Okay, Rona, this is what you need to learn in these 7 minutes.
But of course, in another world that looks beyond that, right, is the process of downloading information to your mind. Means Neuralink, means whatever you have is like, even when Neuralink is possible, you tap to the virtual world of knowledge, and no longer just intelligence. It's very much into connectivity, into that vast intelligence that you can tap on, like a global intelligence whereby you just need to link your brain to the collective intelligence that actually allows you access of unlimited thinking. Even you can start doing things without even talking, typing, and you have access to information and you're making decisions to execute in your mind.
And because we say that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, it's not by chance that you came onto our video. So if you come across this video, remember to bookmark and save it.
Remember to like and subscribe.
Because I think we have more to share. I think in the weeks to come or days to come, I think we'll be sharing more information and more ideas, and really to help you think beyond what normal people can think, to do what you can do to realize your untapped potential that can really, because these days this world, right, is to really rise up to the crowded world, to get attention, to get people noticing you, and to be able to influence people around you and make a deep impact to the world.